Dear students, welcome to this class. So in this class, we are going to look at part 3 of our topic, Introduction to Computers. Okay, so basically in this class, we are going to look at generations of computers. Okay, um, so let us first start. Let's start by defining what computer generation is. So this basically is evolution of computer technology. Okay, so by definition, generation of computer refers to the specific improvements in computer technology with time. Okay, so late in 1946, electronic pathways called circuits were developed to perform the counting. So it replaced the gears and other mechanical parts used for counting in previous computing machines. So in this new generation, the circuits became smaller and more advanced than the previous generation circuits. Okay, so and this has helped to increase the speed, memory, and power of computers. So there are computer generation has 5 generations so far, so which we are going to look at one by one. So the first generation started in 1946 to 1959. Okay, so in these generations, computers were characterized by being slow. They were very huge and expensive. You could find one computer like a whole room. It is as big as a room with very less memory, like 16, only 16 GB. So computers were very huge and expensive. Okay, so in these generations of computers, these are the things that you have to keep note of. Okay, how fast were they? How big were they? Okay, so what technology did they use? Okay, so in first generation they used vacuum tubes. Okay, so these were the base components of computer which would work as memory and CPU. So these computers mainly depended on batch operating system and punched cards. Okay, so these are things that you should note. Okay, so magnetic tapes and paper tape were used as output and input devices in this generation. So some computers in this generation included ENIAC, okay, EDVAC, UNIVAC, IBM 701, and IBM 650. So you'll read more about these computers. I attached materials that describe these. So let us look at the second generation of computers. So this started from 1959 to 1965. Okay, so and these computers used this technology of transistors. Okay, so because in that time transistors were cheap and they were consuming less power compared to vacuum tubes in the first generation. So, and transistors were a bit faster. So, in this generation, also magnetic cores were used as primary storage, and magnetic disk tapes were used as secondary storage. I hope you should be noting down these characteristics. So, assembly language, and programming languages like COBOL, Fortran, and batch processing multi-program operating systems were used. Okay, so some of computers in this generation included IBMs. There were IBMs and CDC, also the UNIVAC. So I also included notes about these computers in the main document. You also read about them. So let us look at the third generation of computers. So these started now advancing. Okay, so these computers used what we call integrated circuits. Okay, instead of transistors in the unlike transistors in the second generation. So a single integrated circuit could pack huge number of transistors, which increased the power of computer and reduced the cost. So the computers were also became more reliable, efficient, smaller in size. Okay, and these computers used remote processing, time sharing, multi programming operating as operating system, and high-level programming languages like Fortran 2, COBOL, Pascal. Okay, so these languages were used in that computer generation. So they were a bit faster and they started reducing in size. Okay, so this is how computers kept on evolving. So you can imagine right now in this generation, we are now holding um, a very small, you are holding a whole computer just in your hands. Take an example of a smartwatch, take an example of a phone. Okay, so these are some of the examples of these computers in this generation. So let us look at the fourth generation of computers. So this started from 1971 up to 1980. So computers used large-scale integrated circuits. Okay, so these used large-scale integrated circuit. So a chip containing millions of transistors and other circuits and other circuit elements. So these chips made this generation of computers more compact, powerful, fast, affordable, and this generation computers use real-time uh, sharing and distributed operating systems. So we are going to look at these types of operating systems. Okay, so languages like C, C++ came into existence in this generation. So these are some of the examples of computers that were used in that generation. So let us look at the fifth generation. So now we are in the fifth generation. So in the fifth generation, this started from 1980 up to date. Okay, so computers used VLCI technology was replaced with ULSI or ultra large scale integration. So this has made the possible production of microprocessor chips with 10 million electronic components. So in this generation, computers use parallel processing hardware and artificial intelligence (AI) software. So most programming languages have been used, for example, C, C++, Java, and .NET. So are all this generation, and many more, including Python. So some of the computers in this generation, as you can see, we have laptops, we have desktops, notebook, we have ultrabook, we have Chromebook, many more. Okay, so you will read these materials as reference concerning this topic, and you get more insight on what I have talked about. And this was the last part of our first topic. That's all for now. Thank you.